as I was getting ready this morning, there was a particular article of clothing that I have in my mind that I can't find. And if you go through that, I don't know if you guys go through that or not, but. So, I'm trying to make this meaningful and not silly. As I'm saying it, you're going, oh my God. But the point is that I still didn't find it, and that's okay. But as I was being with that, I went, oh, I really want that. And what followed in on that thought was an immediate picture that I saw this morning of Canada and the United States and all the different fires that are burning. And boy, did that bring me back to center. Not that I still don't want that particular article of clothing. It would be nice for it to appear. Probably if I go down to Catholic Charities, I'll find it, because I use it to go a lot of things. But I was having this very human thought, which is very okay to do because we are very human. And we are very human. We get to be that because that is who we are. So I never want to downplay that. The importance of our physicality. But we are also spiritual beings. And that image came into my mind, and the thought of what is going on in our world with the fires and with so many different things. And it just brought me into a place of remembering, of just simply remembering the flow of life. The flow of life, how important the flow of life is, of being in the awareness of to the best of our ability to be just simply aware and to be observing what is going on. I'm using material today from Eric Butterworth's Spiritual Economics, and the chapter that I was led to talk from is Discover the Wonder of Giving. Now in Unity, when we are teaching prosperity teachings correctly, we are focusing on the whole system, spirit, soul, and body. We don't get lost in the one rut in the road that says money, money, money. Money, money, money is also important. It's part of our physicality. It's part of how we maneuver in the world. And having it is good. Having a lot of it is very good. How we use our money is very important. Remembering that that physical thing, although how much of it is physical anymore in our digital world, but the point remains that we can do a lot of good when we have a lot that we can share. Does that make sense? So we don't want to get lost in discounting the importance of our financial good, but we also don't want to give it the full power of what it means to be abundant and to be prosperous in our lives. Where we really want to be is in the flow of circulation, in that divine law of give and take, that divine law of of that vibratory essence of allowing for the flow of life to work in and through us. And an important thing about looking at abundance, prosperity, well-being, whatever word that you want to put into it, is to pay attention to how you are feeling in your body, to pay attention to whatever blocks that you may have going on, to pay attention. We are always in the flow of life, always in the flow of life. We cannot be walking above ground, breathing, singing, laughing, without being in the flow of life. We can also be upset and sad and angry, or whatever word you want to put into it. You are still in the flow of life. And again, going back to that place of being aware, of being present, paying attention. Where are you giving your vibration? How are you vibrating in the world? So really, for me, it comes down to the best of our ability, paying attention. Put a little love in your life. Life is for living. This is my happy day. I am one. I forgot the words already, John. I'm gonna sing the song again.
Good that's meant to be.
I am one with good that's meant to be. I am one
that's good for meant for me. That's right.
That's right.
Good for me.
And I am
good
one with
me.
Good that just simply is.
Yeah.
And it is meant for me because I am a sentient being walking on the planet. That does not make me less than any other person, no matter what you may feel your station in life may be. That's a human ego thing. That's not a holy, divine, spiritual thing. We are all made in the image and likeness of the good of God, of source creation. When we can get it into our very memory of every cell of our being that we are of this essence of good. We just get to pay attention and choose whether or not we are using that flow of essence for the good of ourselves and for the planet. This is a picture by Toby Edward Rosenthal, a late 19th century artist. Sometimes it's called The Blessing of Work, sometimes it's called his Madonna. But I want to read to you. When I first saw this, Eric Butterworth used this in his book. I went, well, that's very interesting. I wish the image were larger. But this is what we have, so we'll work with it. So just be with me here. There is an inspired painting by a German artist, Rosenthal, entitled The Blessing of Work. It depicts a young boy carving a life-size picture of a life-size picture? You don't carve a picture. I just found a typo in Eric Butterworth's book in his writing. If you're a Unity minister, you would find that a lot more funny than what you got. Anyway. It depicts a young boy carving a life-size sculpture of the Virgin Mary. The almost completed figure towers above the young artist, and while he works intently, carving the details of the feet, Mary looks down upon him with love and with outstretched arms, blessing him. While he is giving himself in the creative flow, he is dynamically receiving immeasurably in return. The painting reveals much more Light is streaming through the open window, its rays bathing him with an aura of illumination. On a large plaque on the wall, a heavenly choir is singing songs of praise directly towards him. By his side, there is what we assume to be a picture of his mother, which he is using for a model. And with hands clasped in devotion, she is blessing him. Thus, the whole tone of the work suggests that the whole universe is rushing, streaming, pouring into the boy while he quietly gives himself in creative effort. It is a beautiful visual testimony to Jesus' saying, "Give and you shall receive." Isn't that lovely? At first glance, it's a young boy working on a beautiful sculpture. But when put in this description, all of the ways while he, in his devotion, is working in his creativity, he is receiving from the universe in such beautiful ways, as are each of you. No matter what you are doing in any given moment, the universe is in circulation. The universe is in flow. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be so focused in on every single breath of every single day and every single movement and every single thing that we're thinking. That would be absolutely tiresome and a little maniacal. But you get the point. To the best of our ability to simply be aware. So I invite you right now in this moment to be aware. Just be aware of your body. Is there any pain? Is there any energy that seems to be stuck somewhere that you maybe weren't even aware of a moment ago until I brought your attention to it? That you're very welcome. But the point being is to just every now and then to take a moment and do a little body scan, do a little feeling scan, do an emotional scan. Where am I right now in this moment? What am I giving to the world? Because whatever it is that I give, that is what I am going to receive. It is just simply the way the universe works. So we really want to be aware and to pay attention to the best of our ability. Oh my gosh, even in my saying that, it sounds like so much work. And I don't want it to be work. I want it to be a joy of paying attention, of knowing that we are so blessed that we get the opportunity, that the more that I know who I am and how I am in this moment, the more I can give to the world. And we're not doing it because we want to get. That just happens to be what happens. It is in the giving that we receive. The law of giving and receiving says the universe runs on constant exchange. Giving and receiving are really two sides of the same energy flow. To keep abundance flowing in your life, offer what you want more of. Love, appreciation, joy, freely, without keeping score or expecting anything back. We do it simply because we remember that we are one with creation, and that who we are truly does make a difference in the world. Luke 6:38, again, given it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I remember early in my Unity education, and coming into a different way of thinking and a different way of seeing my reality, and hearing my Unity mentors and teachers, say, every time you have an opportunity to give. I make it a practice that when I'm tipping on whatever, in a restaurant or wherever I may be that I am tipping, I remember my old behavior of wanting to get it down exactly, because I was living from a place, a consciousness of lack, of fear, that if I gave away too much, that I wouldn't have enough for what I needed. And over time, coming into the awareness of my divinity and starting to embody the teachings of spiritual truth, that whenever I am tipping, whatever it is that comes to me to tip, I automatically increase it. Even if it's just by $1. That's my own personal practice. One of the reasons I do that, because based on prior behavior, based on my own ego fears, I'm not going to be fair and just, because I may very possibly be coming from that place of lack. And so I increase just on the basis of taking care of any error in my own thinking. And the other reason I do it is because it just feels good. This is my own little thing, not preaching, because I am, because I'm up here. But every now and then when I DoorDash, it's like, oh, I can't DoorDash. It's so expensive to DoorDash. You're not that lazy. You can go out and you can go get your own food. You can go to the grocery. You can go do stuff. But I have been around people that do the gig economy as a way of earning their living. And so now sometimes I'll just do DoorDash or whatever, because I am giving to someone whose livelihood depends on people saying, I'm too lazy to go out, will you please bring me my food? And then tip accordingly. That's my own thing. I'm just sharing that as a way to just look at your thinking of how you operate in the world. What an easy way to give. What an easy way to give back to the world. God is the divine givingness of the universe. There is that saying that you cannot outgive God. You cannot outgive good. To let go of our fears, to let go of our sense of not enough, to let go of our sense of unworthiness. It's not just about money, it's about life showing up. Life is for loving, life is for living, for giving, for receiving. The divine flow requires but one thing of you, your consent to be a receiving channel. So while it is wonderful to give, and it opens up our vibratory flow, if we are not also willing to receive, then we're clogging up the system. Don't have to tell me, but I would not be surprised if we have some people in here that find it very difficult to receive, because you feel like you're not worthy. You don't know that's how you're feeling, but that's how your human process has been for whatever reason as you've been growing up into this world. It is just as holy to receive as it is to give. not only for the very nature of how universal energy flows, but to also honor the giver, right? So we open our hearts and we consent to be a receiving channel. Water transforms, but is never kept. It evaporates, forms clouds, falls as rain, enters rivers, reaches the ocean, evaporates again, and the cycle repeats. Same with the water in the human body. The same water molecules may travel through thousands of organisms over millions of years. They circulate, it never disappears. Energy is energy, it just changes forms. And we are part of that circulatory effort. We are part of that transformational journey. And so we sit back and we pay attention, we check in with our own personal beings. We allow whatever thoughts and feelings come up for us. And as for me this morning, when I remembered and felt that image of the fires going on, not just on our continent, but it just wherever it is in the world. We allow those thoughts and feelings to come up and through us, and we breathe into them, and we release them into love and light, so that we're not resisting. We do not want to resist it. We want to allow it to flow and to move through us. So as I used last week, prosperity is about circulation. The healthiest heart keeps giving. The healthiest lungs keep breathing. The healthiest forests keep sharing. Life itself is generous. When we align ourselves with life, we naturally become more generous. And so it is.